Hello Saxo fans, episode 28 this time. Wanted to get a video out quickly now, so it's a little bit shorter than probably what I would have normally done, but there is a reason for that. Going on holiday next week and I wanted to leave you with something before I went away. So, main subject of this video is getting the fuel pump fitted. Now, obviously I've had the fuel tank out of the car ages and ages ago now. I left everything loose intentionally because I knew this day was coming, but I thought it's something that's relatively straightforward to do, but we'll be fitting the fuel pump, we'll do a bench test, make sure everything's fine, doesn't leak and all that kind of stuff. And then we'll also get the car back on its wheels and do a good old clean up on it because it is horrendous. Anyway, so let's get straight into it. We'll do the fuel pump. Right, now the fuel pump assembly is all back together, I wanted to test it before I put it back in the car. For one reason, I know the pump works, obviously from the bench test that I just did, but sometimes the internal joints can leak where I put the clear PVC tube on. So I want to just make sure it works. So what I've got is just an old container that had degreaser in it, so obviously it's very nice and clean. I'll give it a wash out and it's all dry and everything, so there's no contamination there. Obviously I'll pop the fuel pump in it, just a bit of garden hose clamped around the output. Got my power supply just here so I can send some power to the pump. I've just put a bit of cardboard there, but just because the terminals that I've got the crop clips on are very close to each other, I don't want to touch. So that's that. So I've just got a little bit of fuel in here, which will go in Steph's Puma once I've finished with it, because I've got no use for it. There's no point sticking it in the Saxo because it's going to sit for another 6 months, so it'll probably just go off. So yeah, I'll fill this up and then yeah, we'll turn it on and hopefully yeah, we get some flow out of here and jobs are good, and then I can have a really good look at some of the internal joints while it's working. So yeah, let's fill it up. Right, it is worth noting that I've got plenty of rags knocking around. I've got all of those rags there. I've got a big bucket of water down here should some catch on fire and go very wrong. So yeah, what we'll do now is turn the pump on and see what happens. Right, I did just decide to do it again because the little hose in here, the little plastic stuff that you get in the kit, yeah, this just didn't seal very well. I wasn't particularly happy. What it was dripping, and obviously this is under no pressure at the moment, and I thought with a bit of back pressure on there it might make it worse. So I'll put some proper fuel hose in there on an actual Jubilee as well, so that's all good. No leaks now, dry as a bone in there, so I'm really happy with that. It's worth doing now. So I'm going to let this drain out and then, yeah, go stick it back in the car. Right then, Saxo fans, next job. Been wanting to do this for some time, and that is to wash the car. It is absolutely gipping. So to do that, I need to get it back on its wheels. So that's been done. So everything's still loose, suspension's still not particularly tight or anything like that, but the top of the car is just horrendous. So yeah, just nasty. So I'm gonna give it a good wash off. So I'm going to get it pushed out and give it a quick douse with a hose. Let's get on with that. Right, little wiring update. So this area is basically finished now. I just need to find a way of clipping this bit in here, but essentially the fuse box is done. Thanks to Matt for finding me this original little relay holder that fits inside the fuse box, which means this isn't flapping around. So that's all done. Everything's finished in here, so I've still kept the ABS harness side, so vehicle side harness, so should anybody want to add ABS in the future or myself, then all of that is still here, but obviously the actual ABS unit and everything is gone. So the actual loom itself, so this is all headlight stuff, comes out obviously from here. This is for power steering and it's earthed down there, and then obviously this is the engine loom here. So 3 very clear lines, much tidier than the old rat's nest that's there. I've put the link in now from this fuse box to in here, so that's all sorted. If you remember, we had this monstrosity, so that's all gone now. Obviously I had to use the bolted ends because I don't have any of those, so I've had to reuse them, but that's all good properly soldered joints, so that's sorted. So anyway, wiring for now is basically done. If someone can tell me what this R2 relay would have been for, that'll be useful. I'll have a look in my Haynes manual in a minute, but yeah, it would have been interesting to see perhaps what this is for. Can't quite remember, but anyway, so that's wiring done for now, sorted. Right, last little thing to update on. I have put the heater matrix hoses back in, plated all the ends because they were really rusty, so I stuck them in the bead blaster, gave them a good wash out and plated all the clips and everything, so they're all good to go. Started thinking about radiator options. Obviously I'm not going to use this old scabby one, but I did just want to make sure it fitted because obviously I've changed to a matte one front end. So yeah, I need to have a good think about rad options. I'd like to go for an alley one, thicker core, ideally with a built-in header tank. I don't really want a separate header tank. But yeah, if you guys have got experience of good radiators that you've run that are uprated, then let me know where you get them from, how much they were and all that kind of stuff. That would be really useful. So other than maybe bleeding the brakes, which I'm not desperate to do, we're about done, I think, vehicle side. There's not really a lot more I can do to get it ready to accept an engine. So I think we're sort of, yeah, we're probably at about that time where it is going to be stripping engines down. So let's go and have a quick look at that. Okay, so as you will remember, I have 2 engines. The original one from the Saxo and the one that I got from the C2. Now, I'm obviously going to use the vast majority of the original Saxo engine, but there is plenty of bits I need off this, and it was cheaper to buy a whole engine than it was to buy just the bits I needed. So eventually I need the cylinder head off this, and I need the inlet manifold off this as well. Other than that, that's about it, and I might use it for some bolts and stuff that perhaps are missing off mine or whatever there might be. So I'm going to strip this one first, get the bits off it I need, get them cleaned up and get them sorted, and then I'm going to strip this one after that, and then obviously make the best of it. So if you remember, I did talk about engine spec, but very briefly I'm going to use the Saxo crank, the Saxo block, new rods, new pistons, the C2 head with bigger valves, the C2 inlet manifold, and obviously the exhaust manifold from the turbo, which is sitting over there. So yeah, a bit of an amalgamation of both engines, but hopefully the best of both to give me yeah, nice reliable power. So yeah, lots and lots to do here. This is what we've all been waiting for, and I promise you it starts next episode. So until then, yeah, we'll see you soon.